Kgosientsho Ramokgopa is South Africa's new electricity minister. And the question is, will he be the light at the end of the country's power blackouts tunnel? Energy expert Professor Swilling joins me now to weigh in on this. And Prof, thank you so much for your time. I mean, I think quite evidently, we've heard oftentimes, conversation around the qualifications of whoever is responsible for leading the country out of this energy crisis being significant, being important. And what we do know of now Minister of Electricity, Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, is that he has a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from the University of Durban, Westville, and a Master in Public Administration from the University of Pretoria, and a Masters of Business Leadership from UNISA. In your view, with those qualifications, is he qualified for the job?
Well, I mean, at a formal level, yes, he's qualified for the job. That is an impressive CV by all accounts. And he also has a lot of relevant experience within the political system.
With that being said, what work lies ahead of the Minister of Electricity in your view, Prof? Because there seems to be a lot of confusion as to how exactly he will be able to work while there's still a public enterprise minister and Minister of Mineral Resources and all their DGs, as Prof. Swana had previously mentioned. How do you think this will lead to getting the country out of the energy crisis?
Well, I think it's significant that the president used the word coordination as well as facilitation. So what that would imply is that he's a super minister of energy, obviously symbolized by the fact that he's located within the presidency. So he's more equal than others, so to speak. And if he has the skill set and political nous, as well as the quality of relationships and backup support in order to enable that coordination, then yes, he will be able to do the job. But it is a huge challenge. And what really should be the focus is Eskom. So you can't run an energy system out of the presidency. It's Eskom, which I think the country has lost sight of, which actually manages our energy system. And there has to be a focus on enabling Eskom to do its job rather than micromanaging it.
Yeah. Also, you mentioned, someone that has more of like a political will. And I know that during Andre de Ruyter's conversation with eNCA last, and that seemed to have been also part of the problem, he said, a lot of political interferences. Will he be able to manage this? Is this a man who, in your view, perhaps, Prof, if you've been following his political career, will he be able to maneuver the political interferences that have been, the cause of much of the sabotage? Charges Eskom, according to Andre de Ruyter?
Well, what Andre de Ruyter was complaining about was political micromanagement, and even referred to the ways in which politicians would go around him. So we still have to wait for a new CEO to be appointed. But if the new Minister of Electricity is going to replicate that political micromanagement of Eskom, then I think we are going to continue to replicate the problem. The new CEO of Eskom needs to, in a sense, have a manifesto saying, okay, what are the targets you want me to achieve? And let me do it with the backing of my board. And the role of the Minister of Electricity is to ensure that a kind of political settlement is built up within the state between all the key stakeholders, which gets behind the National Electricity Crisis Committee strategy, which is actually the Eskom strategy, that is not really properly recognized.
Yeah. Should today be Minister Ramokgopa's day one, what would you advise be his priority? What would you advise to be on his priority list in terms of resolving, the crisis at Eskom?
Well, in my view, it would be to firstly make sure that he has a competent team. Secondly, that he would have a meeting with the two other ministers who are in one way or another responsible for energy in order to reach agreement on the ground rules. And three, Ideally, it would have been to have a meeting with the board and the CEO of Eskom, but that CEO still needs to be appointed. So I would meet with the board and the acting CEO. Those would be my 3 priorities if I was him.
All right. Well, we leave it there, Prof. And thank you so much for weighing in on this. Professor Mark Swilling, energy expert, talking to us this morning about Minister Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, appointed as the Minister of Electricity. And we know that definitely the anticipation who will be appointed has been becoming in the past couple of weeks. And now we know, and all eyes will be on him and what exactly will he do and how he'll get us, of course, out of this energy crisis. The president there announcing that he will remain Minister of Electricity for as long as the country is still experiencing this energy crisis.